Welcome back, Papito fam. And here we are with another video. Actually, I think one of the first review videos on the channel. After playing 61 hours in Suicide Squad, here's what I think. And I'm gonna save it to the last minute. I'm gonna get every minute of this. So I played 61 hours. I played all the previous Arkham games. I played Arkham City, Arkham Knights. I played Arkham Origins. I played Arkham Asylum. Now I can't say I played most of them in order. I played Arkham Asylum first, and I skipped Origins. Then I played City, and then I played Knight. But then I came back to Origins when I did get a copy of it for the PlayStation 3 back in the day. Now, Return to Arkham, I've also played that. I actually think I made a video on the Arkham series. If not, I think it was the Switch release though. I was talking about like if should we be worried about the release being buggy or etc. All good games. I love all those games. But my honest opinion about Suicide Squad, or Sushi Squad as some people call it, trying to simulate a half-baked joke there for some people call it that. Okay. I like the game. I think the game has a great loot system, very in-depth. I think it gives me a very Borderlands kind of feel, but with a brand new system. Rocksteady has been seen as the standard for a free flow combat superhero game. For this, they're giving us something different. And honestly, with what they did, how they make the traversal have to be mastered, how you have to master the whole counter shot system, how you have to master this, master that, it gives me a Arkham vibe in a different way. I like to say, because they're making like I have not seen a third person looter shooter or that plays like this, or a third person game in general that has this reliance on movement. And don't even give me Spider-Man, because it's not a shooting game. I have not seen a game like this that you have to actually rely on the movement, how you have to actually rely on the movement in combat, etc. I haven't seen a third person game that has the system yet. So for me, honestly, it's something new, and getting used to it was the whole thing that made me like, whoa, I wanna master this, I wanna get great at this, Now I feel like there's a lot of unjustified hate, which is fine. People are always gonna hate, and there's always gonna be a section of YouTube that's hating on something, because it's what brings them the numbers in to the channels. It's what gives them the clout, and they're not gonna admit that. They're honestly not. Regardless if the game is a 10 out of 10 game or not, they're not going to admit that when they're hating on something, because when they're with hate brings, I guess with hate brings love. I guess with hate it brings you money and subscribers, more people hopping on this hive mind. I guess with hate you get more than you get with honesty on YouTube, because a lot of people's honest reviews, there's people following this hive mind, like they've been taken over by Brainiac themselves. Okay, which is completely my opinion. So I don't care if somebody leaves a negative comment in my comment section. Do whatever you please. Honestly, you want to leave a negative comment in my comment section, I'm gonna ignore it. And I don't care if it's a negative about the game, but if you're gonna leave something negative about me and my opinion, but if first say if it was like something like, oh, but I didn't like how they did this, or I didn't like how they did that, go ahead, leave that. I want to hear those kinds of things. But don't you dare leave a negative review on my comment section that has anything to do with you saying or trying to roast me about my review, because my review is set in stone. This is what I want to do. I want to voice my opinion. I want to say what I think now. I see everybody else saying what they think. I want to say what I think. I'm just joining in on the community. I'm just doing what the community is doing. I'm giving my honest review. I'm not gonna justify hate. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm not gonna hop on a hate train and follow what I see. I'm going to voice my opinion. I'm gonna be a leader and voice my opinion. Voice my opinion without seeing any prior negatives. Okay. I played the game for about 61 hours. I'm master level 61, and I have every character about level 30. I have every character. No, actually, higher than level 30. This gameplay that you're seeing in the background is a little old. Now I have them all at the 36 for the final skill tree. I don't know what you would call that, but all characters are max level 30 plus the extra levels on top of that. So in reality, they're like 67. I would say if you add both of those levels up. But honestly, I like the game enough to come back to it. I didn't have to play with anybody. I played with my cousin a little bit because he wanted to play, because he was interested in the game. He wanted to play. I played with him a little bit, but I played more by myself, grinding, than I did with anybody else. And honestly, I think that justifies my review. So for a game that is driven as a multiplayer co-op game, it does all good areas great. Marvel's Avengers is nowhere better than this as IGN claims, in my opinion, because Marvel's Avengers was a snooze fest. I used to actually fall asleep playing the game, and I used to make tons of videos on the game, so that's saying something. I enjoyed the game to a certain extent, but the game, they're not being an open world and just being open zoned, and then the sky limit. Oh man, I remember that used to get on my nerves. I used to be upset about the sky limit. But for a game, Avengers feels more like a linear co-op game than it did a open world co-op, and this does this right. It gets the open world co-op aspect right. It just does all of that right for me. The loot is great. The loot is really good, like really good. Like I've been able to make tons and tons of builds with ease, complete ease. And I play these kinds of games. I play Borderlands. I play Destiny 2. I play these games. I play Division, nonetheless. And for some people, looter shooters aren't for them, which is completely understandable. If a looter shooter is not for you, then you shouldn't play it. You know, honestly, you don't like looter shooters, then this game is not gonna be for you. That's just how it is. But I like the fact that Rocksteady went and they did something different. I like the fact that they tried something new and they succeeded in this area for me specifically. Now the story was pretty good in the beginning, and it was still good in the middle. I like the Nightmare Bat fight. I don't see anything wrong with the boss fight, with the way they made the boss fights, and the fact that IGN literally was struggling with the Flash is actually crazy, because the Brainiac fight was actually more of a struggle than that Flash fight. The Flash was actually, he was fast, yeah, he was very fast, but the fact that IGN couldn't keep up with with what I kept up with just shows that they don't have real gamers there. I'm just gonna say that I don't think IGN has people that actually play games, like have decent amounts of hours in games at least. Nonetheless, I play this game every day. I come home from work, I would play this game a little bit, and I've like ever since it's been out, I would come home from work, play the game, come home from work, play the game. So it has that loop that's bringing me back and stuff, and I give the game 8 out of 10. And before somebody's like, "Oh, but Papito, they killed Batman," I understand that. And the death, Kevin Conroy chose to be a part of this. It's not like he didn't sign on to this and choose to be a part of an evil Batman. He probably liked the idea of it, in fact. But the Batman's death, even though it may not have been an honorable death, we are playing as the villain's perspective, number one. And I don't think Harley Quinn in the Arkhamverse at least has ever had a intimate relationship with Batman, and nobody can really correct me if I'm wrong. But the Batman death, as far as I believe, it did have a little bit of justification. It may not have been the best way to do it, but it did have a little bit of justification there, and because of all the people he killed and etc. And we see he's a turned evil Batman, and there's no saving him from Brainiac at that point. So it's just, yeah.